What's up, Dragon Brood? Tonight, we're doing a late night stream. Well, at least a late night video. And that kind of explains why my lighting and I don't have the crazy sunlight coming in. But, I think I was just mostly wanting to try something different. I spent some time this evening putting in a whole bunch of different decks to Arena. So I've got a lot more stuff coming over the next couple of weeks. But that was kind of going to happen anyway. But tonight I did something different. I posted a poll up over on Twitter and I asked the question in my Discord and just gave everybody the chance to kind of vote and see what we were going to post in what order. So today, the winner was Big Red. And that doesn't really surprise me all that much. I figured people hadn't seen one of those a bit and they were probably interested. And this gives me a chance to play with a couple of really cool cards out of the new set that I don't get to play with very often. One of them I don't think I've played with at all, actually, and this is going to be the first time I get to play with it. So looking forward to that for sure. And it does mean that you have 3 more really cool decks already in line to come out the rest of this week. So keep that in mind. We can talk about this at the end of the video, by the way. I'll also do a wrap up to let y'all know kind of what changes we would make to this if we're going to make any changes. And I do a card spotlight at the end of all my gameplay videos, which some of y'all think, I guess, didn't know it was a thing. I've been doing this since before Christmas, but apparently it's a thing a lot of people just consider was new. Well, I'll tell you this. The card spotlight is a thing I do for sometimes just to share history of cards, sometimes a personal story, sometimes just to make people aware of some stuff that actually has gone up in value that they wouldn't even know about. So lots of different things that come from that. Just a cool little additive. So check that out at the end of the video as well. But for now, let's go take a look at this Big Red standard deck. Okay, well, like all big red decks, we're going to have to start out being able to remove some threats to allow us to do our thing. So right off the top, we have 4 Frostbite. This does mean we're having to play a lot of snow-covered lands just so we can hit this as often as possible and do max. But it's actually a really good card here. It's not direct damage to an opponent, but it'll at least keep the early creatures off of us. 4 Maze Mind Tome. And you know what? This is probably going to be one of the cards I think that control decks and even some mid-range decks are going to miss once Core Set 2021 rotates out of Standard. It's one of those things that is very subtle, and a lot of people kind of wanted to refuse to play it early on. But even I came around early to just say yeah, this is a card you want in this type of deck for sure. Then we have 4 Bone Crusher Giants. We all know about Bone Crusher Giant. It's good. You got to play it. I will say there's an argument here that because we're going to be playing sweepers and other things, maybe not, but worst case scenario, you get to shoot something and then you get to block something, and that's just going to buy you time that you need. Ironcrag Feet. Now this card, 4 mana, lets you get 7 mana and you can only cast 1 more spell for the turn. Well, we do have some big things we can do with that mana, so we don't really mind only having the 1 spell clause on here, but we'll get to those in a second. Now, some of our board control is going to be Storm's Wrath. I did debate going with Draconic Intervention here, but we don't have that many things that cost 2 or 3 that would be in the graveyard early, spell-wise, and that was a little bit of a concern because then you wouldn't really have much to go with it, so I just went with the full 4 Storm's Wrath here. 3 Solemn Simulacrum. These are just going to really help ramp up the deck. Obviously, they can block, get us a card, but we're really just trying to get that extra mana in there. And I was looking for a spot to play a 4th one, but I'm not so sure. But like I said, we can talk about that later. 3 Goldspan Dragons. This is also another card that can kind of help you finish the game if you just need to be attacking, but it also has the benefit of generating some treasures. So even if you just put it out there and it dies, it could help you get to the next level in your mana. Magma Opus. Now, I know we said it's a big red deck and we have a blue card in here, but let's be honest. Anybody who's played with Magma Opus so far knows that this card is very good. It does red things, right? It's still dealing damage. And here's the other thing too. It does allow us to also generate treasure, which can help us cast several of our other cards sooner. So it's doing a lot for this deck. It's not totally red, so I get it if some people are bothered by that, but really, this is still a red deck. Then 3 Ugins, because, having that extra mana from Ironcrag Feet on turn 5 allows you to play Ugin, which is really nice. Also, you can do some things where maybe you get a treasure, then you cast Ironcrag Feet, and you can do that even a turn sooner than normal. which is also pretty cool. So I'd like to see that happen in these games. And then we have Crackle with Power. This is the card I've been looking for a spot to get into a deck. Like, this is the one I've been wanting to play, and I think this is the right way to do it. The one thing I will say is, like, you don't have to get to a ton of mana to have this be a winner, right? If you get to, what is that, 2, 4, 6, 8 mana, you're going to deal 10 damage. Like, that'll end the game, right? If you can manage to do more than that for some reason, you know, let's say that's like, I don't know, turn 6, you cast an Ironcrag Feat, that generates 7, you have 2 more mana. I guess it still only get you the same thing, because you'll have a mana left over. But it's pretty neat. We'll see how it works. I don't know if it's the thing we're looking for as a finisher or not, but I hope we get it off. Then we have 4 Shatterskull Smashing. These can double as lands, but largely we're going to be using these for removal. And then 15 Snow-Covered Swamps, 4 Riverglide Pathway, 3 Crawling Barrens. So not a lot to write home about here. Nothing that's really going to blow your doors off or anything. But overall, just a very solid mix of cards that'll take care of what we need to do. So let's go hop into the arena and play some games with this bad boy. Okay, well, what do we do with this? I think we just have to mulligan. There's just not anything we can do there. Oh my goodness. I guess we keep. I mean, we do have a Bone Crusher. Okay, I don't love it, but it does allow us to do some of the things we need to do here. I mean, this is good because it means we kind of get to play Mazemind Tome. Give us a chance to filter some lands if necessary, which is nice. Or sift for some lands via scrying. See what the opponent does here. Nothing. Huh. I have a feeling this means that they're going to have... I'm going to assume something along the lines of a Elite Spellbinder this next turn. If so, they might take a Bone Crusher Giant, but I don't know. It depends, right? If they're playing like a Winota style deck, they might want to take a Storm's Wrath to keep us from getting all their duders. How do we feel about that? I think we're okay with it. I'm just going to draw a card. Okay, we got the Crackle with Power. I'm not sure what we do with it. Deals 5 times X damage up to X target. So we could actually, like, wipe the board out, too, if we needed to. So that's pretty cool. Alright, we just pass. No real reason to be in a hurry here. I mean, even if we sweep the board, we'd get a 2/2 back. So that's pretty sweet. I mean, if the opponent tries to get silly and, I don't know, Winota here, that is not going to fly. So let's go ahead and off this duder. I mean, the good news is, even if they got put on an Apparition, we could still Storm's Wrath. Oh, they're going to fight as one. Okay. Sure, opponent. Why not? Okay. Now, I was wondering if this type of situation was going to come up where we were going to get faced with this. But, like, do we just Dragon? Because I don't think the opponent's going to kill us here. I'm not worried about that, really, by any stretch. And this doesn't look to be a Winota build. I could be totally wrong, but the only way this really backfires is if the opponent ends up having, like, Luminarch Aspirant next turn and making that like a 5 toughness, and then we can't really deal with it. That would kind of suck. And then we'd be forced to do this for some small amount. 2, 4. If we got another land, 6. I mean, we could do it for, well, I don't know. That would be 10 damage to 3 things. No, we need 8 to be able to do that. Yeah, we wouldn't be able to. All right, I'm going to gamble. Mostly because if they don't kill our stuff and we get lucky and are able to draw a land, this is a lot of ifs, mind you, but if we draw another land, we attack with the dragon and then we Crackle with Power for 10 to 3 things. No, up to X targets. So to 2 things. Oh, and they did find the aspirant. Oh my gosh, that's so brutal for us. That is the worst. All right, well, we found the land. All right, let me double check the math. I'll attack. Then we'll have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Oh, actually, we'll have more than we need. 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, we'll have 10. I only need 2, 4, 6, 8. I can't get this to 3, 6, 9. I need, if I could get it to 11, but we'd be dead by then potentially. So we can do it for 2. X is 2, and that would be 10 damage to 2 targets. So we could take out Luminarch Aspirant and the opponent here. Ugh. Or we could just... Oh, this is such a tough decision. Like, we could just attack. I mean, we could do it for 1. All right, well, either way, let's attack first. Because I think the better plan is going to be just doing this for 1. Then Storm's Wrath, maybe? I mean, the opponent only has 2 cards in hand, though. Like, even if they want to put the... And we're going to get a 2/2 back if we do kill that. This is a really tough decision, y'all. I'm sorry. Like, this is the first time I've played this deck, and I am just struggling here. Okay, so let's say we kill the Apparition. We'll get a 2/2 back. We can kill Clarion Spirits if we wanted to, but if we spend that mana, we might as well just hit the opponent and just put the opponent down to 2, right? All right, here goes. X is 2. Is that the wait? Select up to 2 targets. This. I feel like if it's the Luminarch Aspirant, it makes it... Man. I think I'm going to get punished for doing this. I think I'm just getting greedy. But this way we can still draw a Bone Crusher Giant. I can attack with a Crawling Barrens if the opponent messes up, then attacks with the Maul the Skyclaves. Like, if they put the Skyclaves on something and attack, and they don't make another spell here to make a 1/1, then we could potentially do a thing. The other thing, too, is we can 1, 2, 3, 4... Nah, we'd be a mana short. I was thinking we could actually activate the Crawling Barrens and attack, but that won't work. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We could Storm's Wrath, then Solemn Simulacrum, and then that forces the opponent to have to be on defense, because then we'd have Simulacrum plus the Crawling Barrens. Like, that's a real thing. Unfortunately, now they have enough blockers to deal with all of our stuff. So it looks like we are going to be on a Storm's Wrath plan here. Unless we just draw a Bone Crusher Giant. Oh, we did. Oh, I literally was just joking. It worked. It worked. Okay, what do we do with this? This one's kind of tough. I feel like we're just going to kind of get caught using Storm's Wrath and nothing else. So I'm going to go ahead and mulligan that. Yeah, this feels a little bit better. Get rid of that. I mean, at least we can play some silly games with the Maze Mine Tomes for a little while. Buy us some time. Now, this is going to be weird. Because if this is a control matchup, which it appears to be, their counters are going to be good because we don't have that many things. So they're going to get kind of max value out of their stuff here. So this may be a case where we just sit on these Maze Mine Tomes. and just get cards out of them. And we may have to try to crackle with power on like turn 15 or something. Alright, Elspeth's Nightmares. Mildly annoying, but whatever. Do we want to play a third Maze Mind Tome? Nah, we'll do this. At least thin our deck out. I mean, we have 2 Maze Mind Tomes. If we lose the third, so be it. I mean, I assume they're just going to take the other tome. Yeah, exactly. Not sure what they want to do to a Simulacrum, though. I mean, they have to know we're just going to have stuff like Ugins and whatever the rest of the way. That would be my assumption, anyway, if this is what I saw. When you see this many artifacts in a monocolored thing, that's usually the case. Alright, Bone Crusher, you ain't bad. I guess they could have a sweeper next turn. That would make sense. Okay, well, if you have it, you have it. Yeah, that. Okay, sure. I'll get a free scry. Yeah, alright. I'm assuming they're just going to go get something to kill our creatures. Unless they already have it. The thing is, though, if they know, like, if we both know each other, we're playing the long game, like, I'm not really sure what the benefit is here. Unless we're both... Okay, well, I would say we're obviously not both racing to Ugin situations here. I mean, they can make 2 blockers, gain some life, so that's relevant. I mean, as weird as it is, we may use a Frostbite on one of them. I mean, no, we're not. Like, there may be something else we can hit. I'd rather not have it end up being something like, what's that thing, Narfi or something, and we might need to get it out of the way one of these turns down the road, so I'd rather not waste the Frostbite on that. Alright, so this is when something they control is targeted, have to pay 1, or damage dealt to them is going to reduce by 1. Okay, seems fine. I mean, we're going to continue to attack. Because what else are we going to do? I'm going to go ahead and draw with one of these, because if we draw a land, we can go ahead and play it. We did not, so we'll end the turn. The other thing, too, is though you can only play 1 spell from your Ironcrag feat, you can use the mana for other things. So if you're in a situation where, let's say with this hand, maybe we have a land or 2 in play and we can cast a Simulacrum, we can just spend the mana to draw cards with the Maze Mind Tome. Like, that's totally legit. They're going to bounce our other Maze Mind Tome? Sure. I'm not sure what they're trying to achieve here. This is a very weird situation. I'm going to go ahead and let that go. I mean, the opponents... Yeah. Well, let's see. If we get 1, 2... 1, 2, 3... We'd only be able to do 5. Okay. I was just thinking, like, how much damage we could do to the opponent if we were to draw a Crackle with Fear. Oh, wait! We have an Ironcrag feat. I don't know if that really changes anything, but it's something to note. I mean, we're probably just going to lose to, like, a Dream Trawler or something, right? Where we're going to have to Crackle, I would think. Oh, I forgot it gets countered. Not that it changes anything, really, though. Alright, I'm just going to take it. That's a little peculiar. So they took the damage, leaving those. So they have something they want to sacrifice those to. I'm assuming maybe... they're playing a lot of learn stuff. Like, is it possible they're playing Plunge? I mean, that could be a thing, I suppose. Alright, I guess we'll go ahead and put this into play. We'll see whatever they're gonna do, they're gonna do it this turn. We know that much. And it's important that they have creatures. Shadrick Silverquill. Okay. That's a thing. So they're gonna make the 1/1. No, they're gonna put +1/+1s, and we get a 1/1. Okay, or 2/1. Sure. All right. I think we are gonna go scrying now. Oh well. There's a thing. We're done scrying. We are quite done scrying. And we get to leave the simulacrums up. Yeah, I like that trade. And we'll get to draw a card. Oh, that's amazing. -5.
Of your freedom.
And we'll get the full 4 damage in.
You are too dangerous to roam.
All right. That'll do it. This is so close to me wanting to keep it. Man, if that Crawling Barrens was a red land, so I know I could get the extra treasure, then I could roll into a Solemn Simulacrum, maybe? You know what, though? I'm going to keep it anyway. For science. We're learning. Let's do it. This is a case where a 2-lander probably ends up being terrible for us. Or I'm completely wrong. That could be a thing, too. Alright, we take our 1. Alright, well, the deck's trying to provide. I'm going to pass. Let's see what the opponent does. I mean, yes, we could have killed the Alseid, but I'm just thinking there may be other things we want to kill. Alright, so if we target Mila, they'll get to draw a card. So we're playing Luca. Okay, well, let's go ahead and kill this. Not sure I'm going to have enough time to do what we need to do, but that could help. I mean, now if we have to use the Shatterskull Smashing, we can do that into a Storm's Wrath, and that could help our situation. I would really like to get a land off the top, though. That's not what we wanted to see. That's totally not what we wanted to see. Ugh. If there were ever a thing that was worse for us. Oh my goodness. That's pretty awful. Well, Luca costs 6 at least, so we have that going for us, I suppose. This could also just be a gross Winota situation and we're about to get blown up. Just trying to think if there's anything else we could do here. I mean, if we take the 3, we go to 16, and then we possibly get wrecked anyway, unless we just top deck another Storm's Wrath. The other option is just do this. Yeah, we're kind of in bad shape here. This hand did not come together. We needed another spot removal, whether it's Bone Crusher or a Frostbite. Either one would have been good on this turn. Yep, that's what I thought. It's a Winota. Yep. 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 And there goes the Storm's Wrath. We are wrecked. Because now the only thing we can do... Yeah, what are they taking so long? You got to get the Storm's Wrath, right? I mean, obviously. Oh, they didn't take that. Okay. Well, I mean, I guess they figure Storm's Wrath, they protect Winota. I mean, we'll block the biggest thing because that's all we can do. I mean, we do have to draw a land here, but we're getting 2 cards to do it. Alright, there's one. Okay. I mean, yeah, I guess we just Storm's Wrath. Oh, we can't because that comes into play tapped. We need it to be a Crawling Barrens. Yeah, we're dead. Ah. Dang Redain. Alright, this is a keep. So we're going to roll with this. So many people are on the white deck, it seems like. Alright. If they play something that's 2 mana, we'll probably kill that. If not, end of their turn, we'll likely try to kill an Alseed, I think. That's where we're headed. Mostly because we're going to end up using our mana for everything else under the sun here. Alright, so we're going to have the ability to Ironcrag Feet Crackle with power. Oh, we won't. Oh, no, we won't. Alright. Well, let's find some of our removal. Though I'm sure the opponent's looking at our hand and going, Crackle with power? What? Having to read the card and figure out what it even does. Though the real thing is you probably just take Ironcrag Feet here. Well, I say that. If they don't have a way to deal with the dragon, maybe you want that. But that's still a couple turns. Ironcrag Feet lets me do dragon on 4 and still draw a card. Yeah, I was going to say, that makes more sense. Are we going to scry here? I'm trying to think. Yeah. That's kind of lame. But maybe it's what we want to do. I don't know. Do we really want to kill that thing that badly? I feel like that's being over-aggressive. But sure. I mean, I don't know what type of deck the opponent's playing, so... just get rid of stuff while we can. Another Spellbinder. Okay, well, that sucks. That's why they kept their hand, though. Not sure it's necessarily great against us, or great against a normal deck, but it is really good against us to have those back-to-back. Yeah, we'll take that as insurance, I guess. Probably should be just grabbing lands here, but that's mostly fine, I suppose. I'm going to assume at some point, though, they're going to end up just having a bunch of counters. That's bad news. Any chance you'll tap out for us, opponent? Well, that's sort of a start. Do we want to grow the Crawling Barrens? Or do we want to draw a card? Drawing a card is only key if, like, truly back-to-back we get, like, burn spell and land. That's, like, the only way that matters, I think. But I think we have to draw a card anyway, because I think we're going to want to set ourselves up to be closer to the burn spell post-sweeper. And that Crawling Baron's just going to have to wait. Well, alright. Speaking of which. Now, okay. At least if we do this, it sets up us being able to get rid of all their stuff. I mean, yes, I'm aware that we lose the Bone Crusher, but, like, casualties of war and all. Alright, no land there. But we got another Ironcrag Feet. The opponent doesn't have anything, so I'm assuming they just have counters. Alright. Good to know. Huh. All right. And they have nothing to play on our turn. So, and it's not creatures. It's got to be counters. Well, at least now we know some things. Not always sure what we know, but sometimes we just know. All right, let's start by drawing a card, which I probably should have done on the last turn, because if I'd have found the land, I could have just played it. Oh, that doesn't help. I mean, I want to turn this into a treasure in the event I draw like a Goldspan Dragon or something. But... Alright. So we don't even have the blue mana yet. There's a good chance this wasn't going to get through regardless. Even if we did find it. Oh. Well, let us find something awesome then now. Let us find an Ugin. That would be great. I would love an Ugin. Alright, I mean, I guess we get to play a Goldspan Dragon at least. That's not the worst thing. Alright. Not how I expected this to go, but hey, we'll take it. Yeah, I assumed it wasn't going to be long for this world, but, you know. Things are what they are. Alright, now how much damage can we do? This is a real question. 2 to start it. So we have 1, 2, not quite enough. We need another land. We could do this though, right? This generates 7, 8, 9, 10. So 2, 4, 6. So we could do 10? I think I just want to play the dragon again here and attack. Just getting more mana here is the best thing, I think. Well, we're not getting more, though. We're just swapping that out. But we do get damage out of this, which matters. Alright, let's see what they've got. I don't know what the opponent's doing here. I thought... So, maybe they don't have counters. But what's the blue for if it's not... Alright, another giant killer. This all makes sense that they were sitting on giant killers waiting for us to do something. That part, I'm with. I'm just trying to figure out the rest of this. Is it... like... Okay, Bone Crusher. I'm just trying to think if there's a way we can get all of this off and do everything we want to do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I mean, that's 15 if we can do it. I don't think we can, but man, that would be awesome. I just don't think we can though. All right, if they have a counter, let's make them play it. Oh, they don't. Oh. Oh. Alright, I'm going to burn a mana. I'm going to play as though we can draw one more. I know it's like a big ask. But if we draw a land, we still have the ability to do this for 15. Oh, it was a glass casket. So we still don't know what the blue is for, do we? It's just for that? If it's just for that, let us draw a land. Come on. Let us draw a land. Come on, deck. Ugh, you're killing us. Alright, dragon it is, though. That's fine. Dragon just replaces the mana, so we're okay with that. It also means now we don't have to do it for 11. We can get by doing this for 8 now. Or 8 total mana. Alright, this might do it. This is going to be it. We're going to win with Crackle with Power. I love it. Yeah, because they're going to spend their mana to tap a dragon, obviously, right? Oh, well, we found the mana we didn't need anyway. Yep, that's going to do it. We're going to go ahead and Ironcrag Feats. Make a whole pile of mana. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We're just going to do it where x equals 3. And it's up to x targets, right? Yep. All right. We'll target this and this. Oh, we could have done for more. I forgot we had the Goldspan Dragon out. So yeah, after playing those games, I'm not really sure what I would want to do to the deck, because it actually played pretty well, honestly. I think it was cute, the Magma Opus, but I don't know, like, other than getting the treasure to allow us to kind of do some things and giving us like a back end play, I don't know how good it was. I could see us cutting down one of those and playing either an additional Goldspan Dragon or another Solemn Simulacrum. Otherwise, I would leave it mostly the same, because I do still think, even though we didn't get to see it come into effect in those matches, I do think there's still some room and some importance for the Magma Opus, really. Uh, just as a late game finisher, to give you some bodies to let you get 4 extra damage. You can tap stuff down in a pinch, maybe to clear the way for a dragon that you're going to play the next turn. Like, there's still a lot of opportunity there, so I don't know if I just want to give that up so quickly. But if you play this and it turns out it's just not your thing, or you don't have the wild cards for it, because it is a mythic, then go ahead and put in some of the ones you already have, which, like I said, could be Solemn, could be Goldspan Dragon, or maybe if you want to play stuff like Fire Prophecy is also worth considering if you're looking for something else in that space. And I was thinking about another card as well. You could probably put, Royal Eruption, because that can be both damage to a creature or damage to an opponent. So those are probably the only other cards I would consider for this particular build. As for overall strategy, there wasn't a whole lot I can really add that you probably didn't see in those games. I would say, just be really sure when you want to use your Ironcrag feat. Like you saw there, it was kind of like on the fence. Okay, do I use it to play a dragon? Do I save it and try to get off a big Crackle with power? The other thing too about Crackle is it's almost kind of like an inevitability sort of thing. Like, because once you get to the point where you can do it, you already have just a ton of mana. So it's like, it almost doesn't matter if you do it for 11 total mana, if you do it for 8 total mana. I mean, 11 total mana is just, that's 15 damage. Your opponent's probably dead. But even for 8, you're still going to be able to do 10, and that's still pretty close, especially if you've gotten in with a dragon or a bone crusher, or even just incremental damage, I would say, with your crawling barons. And that's another thing I would point out, is that you may have to get in a time or two with your crawling barons where you can, just to set up a kill with one of your other cards. And it's something you don't think about doing with the barons, but could be important. Now, for today's card spotlight, we're going to talk about Defense Grid. And Defense Grid, being a 3-mana artifact and making your opponent's stuff cost more when it's not your turn, back in the day, this was one of our original defenses against counterspell decks, because those were super popular. And if you don't like counters now, imagine that there were decks that played 30 land and a pile of counterspells. Like, that was a thing once upon a time. And they killed you with like Stalking Stones, which is like one of the worst man lands. But seriously, this was a really big card way back when, and it seems like people are just now rediscovering this card. I believe the original was from Urza's Legacy, and it was reprinted in 8th edition, I think. So you can find a few copies out there, but they're starting to creep up a bit. But if you play against people who love countering things, or maybe they're always doing stuff on your turn, this is the way to kind of put that on ice, which is really nice if you are playing a creature-based deck and you have less instants that are going to be happening on your opponent's turn. Maybe you should consider picking some of these up and playing them. As always, remember that today's deck list can be found in the description below, along with links for all of my other stuff if you want to come join me on my Twitch or Facebook gaming streams, or just come over to the Discord and get some deck help. Also, don't forget, if you would like to buy some merchandise or just otherwise help me out, I do have a merchandise link if you want to pick up stuff like mugs, t-shirts, whatever. But if you want playmats and some of these cool little tokens, which I will autograph these, by the way, if you make any orders, I have a link. It's over at our podcast link Color of Magic, or actually colorofmtg.com/shop. Sorry about that. And you should check out my podcast. We have 82 episodes out. We have a blast. We talk about all types of issues around gaming that affect us at the gaming table and in front of our machines. And people seem to have a good time with it. And as always, if you haven't, please remember to like this video, hit the subscribe button, hit that notification bell, because it lets me know you appreciate me and lets you know every time I have a video up. But that's all I have for you for now. We'll see you next time.